Hello, Augies Worldwide. I'm Dave Kassler, amateur radio call sign KE0OG, here with another episode of Ask Dave. This question today comes from Dave Clark, W8 Delta Victor Echo, and he is wanting to put in another antenna near one of his existing antennas. We'll kind of draw a picture of that a little bit coming up here. Okay, he has a horizontal 66-foot, 40-meter center-fed dipole, and he's about to install a 66-foot, 40-meter end-fed half-wave wire as a sloper above and perpendicular to it. My first reaction to that is take the 40-meter dipole down, because you're about to replace it. The 40 through 10, the 66-foot end-fed dipole will work on 40 meters. So you'll have two antennas on 40 meters, and they are nowhere near as directional as you might think from your studies in the tech or general textbooks. And you say right now you have a horizontal 66-foot, 40-meter center-fed dipole. Take that down and install this new antenna in its place. And it will work fine. Now, if you really want to have this horizontal antenna, and then presumably some point is above it, because you're going to put a sloper down like this, I would keep the antennas maybe 10 feet apart in this case, because at their closest point of contact, and make sure they really are perpendicular to each other. And then I think you will find you'll get about the same performance out of the 40-meter center-fed dipole as you do out of your end-fed dipole. The dipole's a dipole is a dipole. It does not matter where you feed it. You can feed it in the middle, you can feed it off-center, you can feed it at the end. In any case, it's a dipole. Now, one thing to remember is that an end-fed dipole requires a counterpoise. The counterpoise is usually taken to be the outside of the shield of the coax that connects it to your station. Now, this means there needs to be some place in your station where you can get rid of what's on the outside of the dipole. You don't want it coming into your station. It's a source of RFI. What you can do is maybe coil a few loops of coax together, 9 loops in a 9-inch diameter of RG 8X or something like that will work. Although that's actually about 26 feet worth of coax, and it will cost as much money by the time you start adding to that. Why not just put a lightning arrestor there? That will definitively ground the outside shield, and then from there on in, it's just ground that you're looking at. That works really well. I used a 50-foot piece of coax when I tested my antennas. End-fed half-wave worked great. I didn't need to put in a separate counterpoise. If you do find that you need a counterpoise, start with a 10-foot counterpoise, go to 20 feet, whatever, work around with it. There is no hard and fast rule, and usually the coax outer shield will be a good enough counterpoise for you. You might ask, why do I need a counterpoise? Well, if you look at the circuit of it, there's an unbalanced to unbalanced transformer in there. There's a common point, and that's attached to the coax shield, but technically it should attach to ground too. And if there's no place for it to go, the coax shield will act as the counterpoise. So there you go. I hope that works well for you. And one of the best ways of doing it is to try it. If you'd like to help support this channel, please subscribe, please click like, please go to dkassler.com/tip-jar. And until we next meet, 73.